Hey there, my little biz besties. Welcome back to In Good Company, where real entrepreneurs share real growth stories. Thanks for liking and subscribing to my channel. Let's get into it.
We are a mobile bartending company.
It's so scheduled.
In the state of Kentucky, you have to do food and bar to get that.
Weird laws around liquor if you are doing both.
Correct. We have a good relationship with a lot of caterers.
It brings so much perspective.
Someday was going to be an owner of something, just didn't really know what.
I can take a risk. So, On the Rocks, according to social media, is a mobile
Mobile bartending company.
bartending. So, tell me about that.
So we are a mobile bartending company, but we also just started offering catering. So we are kind of doing both of those now.
Okay.
But on the bar side, we are the bartenders that come to your event that are licensed, insured, trained, and we basically bring the bar to your party. So we don't provide the alcohol.
Okay.
Client provides that because in Kentucky you have to be a dry hire.
Oh, really? What is that? So that just means you can't transport?
So we technically can't transport, nor are we allowed to supply the alcohol, nor are we allowed to resell the alcohol. It's very tricky with the ABC policy.
That's wild. That's pretty restricting.
It is.
For what you're doing.
Yeah, it is. So basically people will be like, well, if you're not supplying it, then
What are you doing?
what do I need you for? And we get that a lot.
Yeah.
But
And to that you say,
yeah, we're like, well, your venue. So like if you're getting married or you're having a company party or a private party and you're at a reputable venue, most of them are going to say you have to have an insured, certified, trained bartender.
Yeah.
So that's where we come in. Like, okay, we can't provide your alcohol, but we are what your venue requires. We have all of the proper insurance and stuff that is needed to serve.
who serve it.
Yeah.
Also, do you think they even know how to make a mojito?
Probably.
They can buy the stuff.
Right. They can buy. Not everyone can make drinks or,
Right.
Everyone has their special touch on how they make drinks. So, and it's not just about the drink. It's about, quality control, crowd control, not really crowd control, but like alcohol awareness, monitoring, making sure everyone is, not overly drunk, but yet they're having a good time. Because we are an open bar policy, which means we're not selling you per glass. You just can come up and get drinks.
Get it.
A typical wedding reception is 5 hours.
Yeah.
So you think
That's a long time.
It is a long time. And
drink.
You're at a bar and you can just come up and drink and drink and drink and you're not running a tab and you're not paying. So we have, it does get dangerous and you have to make sure you're doing your job. And that's what we're there for. But my company does really good. I have a great staff and we do more than just that. So we want your event to go smooth. We want it to be perfect. We don't want to cause stress for your day. We help take out the trash, which a lot of people don't do.
Yeah.
We help clear the tables of bar and catering trash.
Okay.
And that's something that a lot of people don't think about because
Till the end of the night.
until the end of the night and they're like, oh my goodness, we have all this that has to be done and we're supposed to be out of here in 30 minutes. What,
Yeah.
But also not all catering companies clear tables.
No.
So that's,
You got to take care of that.
yes,
yourself.
you take care of it yourself.
They usually leave before the end of the night.
They do. And so, when we're there, that's something we help do.
Nice.
We help cut the cake. If your cake person might show up, drop the cake off, but they're not going to stay the
See you
whole
later.
time.
Yeah.
So that's like something else that we do. There's been a lot of times we've been at the weddings, we'll get in an event about 2 hours early to set everything up.
Sure.
So we have some free time, but the most important thing is getting our beer code. So that's why we're there 2 hours early to make sure that the beer is code. But we,
What is that? Oh.
so you have to put it on ice.
Oh, you're putting it on ice.
Yeah. So you bring a cooler.
I wouldn't think of that. Yeah. Yeah.
We bring coolers because if you're mobile, most of the time you don't have refrigerators and all that stuff.
Right.
So, how are you going to get your beer code? So that's what
Is
we
it
do.
gonna be ready?
Right. So we get there about 2 hours early to do all that. And then we have free time. So like if the coordinator is like, I'm running behind, I need these candles lit on this table, or can you help me do this? Or can you do that? Like we're your extra set of hands. So
That's nice.
we do a lot.
Because you need it.
Yes.
There's all these little things that pop up. I was kind of mentioning I did a lot of weddings, the hair and makeup side. And when you show up on the day of a wedding or, an anniversary or a retirement party, it's so scheduled, right? So you get there at 7, 30 minutes per person. What you don't account for is all of the people that this schedule is for and all of their free will that they host in their body, meaning they don't care if you need them to be sitting at 7:30 to be done by 8. So everyone's kind of running around and nobody thinks about the candles. Nobody thinks about who's going to clean this up. What ends up happening without you is, all right, bridesmaids, come and clean up this mess. Hopefully bridesmaids paced themselves
Yes.
and made good decisions.
Not always.
Usually not.
No. A lot of times it's mom, mother-in-law, father-in-law, and
After
they're
a long day.
exhausted.
Yeah, that started at 7 in the morning, and here it is almost midnight.
Yep.
So y'all are the extra set of hands. That's so special. And you said you're going to start doing catering.
Yep.
How's that transition been?
So it's been good. So, I have owned On the Rocks for 8 years. I started it. I've been in the hospitality industry probably. My dad owned a business and I was working when I was like 11. Wasn't in the restaurant industry, but it was a store. So I dealt with people, customer service.
Yeah.
But as soon as I was like 18, I went straight into hospitality.
Really?
Serving like at Churchill Downs, some fine dining restaurants. And so I've always dealt with it, and then bartended and then started my business. And then the catering has come in because we want our liquor license, which would eventually allow us to supply the liquor.
Oh, okay.
But in the state of Kentucky, you have to do food and bar to get that.
Yeah.
So that was like one of the reasons. The other reason we kind of started it was, again, because if we're already clearing trash from other caterers and doing things, we have the ability.
Makes sense.
We'll do the catering too.
Yeah.
We work with amazing caterers. Like there's amazing caterers that we like to work with, and we hope to keep that relationship. Like we're not just, you have to book us for both. We're not that,
It can be, okay.
You could book us just for bar, you could book us just for catering, or you could book us for both. If you do book for both, you get a discount.
Oh,
But you can do either or.
But it would open up opportunity for y'all with the weird laws around liquor if you are doing both.
Correct.
Because now you can provide that. And there are great catering companies in Louisville.
Yes.
So, person approaches you and said, I have this company, I really want to order their food. I love their food. That's my guy. You're not in the relationship breaking up game.
Correct.
You are, we can work with them.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And we do. And, we, there might be some things that we might not be able to make that you're very adamant that that's what you want for your food. And I'm okay with that. Again, we have a good relationship with a lot of caterers. We have a catering company that actually does catering and they have their liquor license, but they don't have the right, it's easier for them to contract us out instead of having the staff. So
It makes sense for them to hire.
So like they would hire us to come and do their event. And we want to keep relationships like that. Like we're not like, oh no, we're not working with you because we cater now. We don't want to be that way.
You still can be a subcontractor, in theory for other catering companies. That's fine. So you take us back a little bit. You were bartending. I also had some bartending days under my belt, and it is fun.
Yeah.
It is I always think when I have boys, almost teenager for both, that everyone should work in the restaurant industry one time in their life.
I agree.
It brings so much perspective, and it teaches you certain lessons with the treatment of people. it shows you how out of control something can be if you get blamed for it. Everyone always wants to blame the server.
Right. The poor server takes all of it.
Really.
And half the time it's not her fault.
She is just A to B, you know. So getting that behind the scenes, and it didn't scare you because bartending can be exhausting. And what led to you starting your thing? You know, I say bartending, you smile. You weren't like, you smile, which tells me the experience was either really good, so good you wanted to do your own thing, or you were working somewhere and you were like, this is great, but not here.
So kind of a little bit of all of that.
Okay.
So I, served in places. I come from a very dad who owned his own business. He built houses. He had a farm. He took care of his family. He was very much a go-getter, a worker, but he also, was his own boss. So I grew up seeing that. Same way with my mom. Like my mom, worked there. She, was in the business. So it was kind of like I always knew that I someday was going to be an owner of something. Just didn't really know what. I actually thought I would take over his business, but that didn't happen, and that's okay. Thankful that didn't happen now because I love where
it was supposed to.
where I'm at. But so I was working in the industry, and then I started working for this lady who owned another bartending company in my hometown. Okay. And I probably worked for her for a while. And in the back of my head, I had, she can do this. I can do this, but different. There's ways I would do things different, how I would present myself, how I would treat my workers, just things like that. And then I just took a leap of faith and was like, okay, we're going with it.
We're doing it.
We're going to try and see. And to be honest, it was hard at first. Oh, yeah. I had a lot of great feedback, and then I had some negative feedback from people.
You learn faster that way,
yes.
don't you?
and it wasn't even really feedback, but maybe more like criticism, like, I can't believe you're doing that. Why would you start your own business? You worked for, her. Like, what would you, but there was just different things. And I was younger. Yeah. And I had the ability to do it. I had gotten married and I had a second income. I didn't have to struggle.
You could take a few more risks.
Yes.
When people say like, oh, I started this business and it was just, on hopes and dreams and I needed money to survive. I think sometimes the grind looks different. When you have, I'm going to say a cushion, because I started my business with a full-time job and a husband.
Yeah, me too.
So there's a certain cushion of, I can take a risk.
Yep.
And my family's not going to be homeless.
Right.
Or I can take a risk, and if it doesn't work, I'll just try something different.
Right.
And so there's a freedom in that too. Some people will question it and say, well, you weren't really taking risks because you had a second income. But I think it's the opposite. Yeah. You take more risk because I have a safety net. I'm going for it. So you took the risk while you're working full time.
I was working full time. Yep.
For the lady?
No. I could never do that. That would be a horrible person of me. No.
I was like,
no. That would be juicy, right?
Yeah.
No, I was actually working full time at a factory because I was in the position.
Midday?
No, it was a third shift. So I had put myself in the position where I have a 19-year-old. And so at the time he was, 10 when I started my business about.
Yeah.
But I was pretty much a single mom. We lived on our own. I needed a set income. We had a house that we had just built, So I was working full time at a factory, third shift. And sometimes
was that 2 to 10?
It was 10 p.m. to 6:40 a.m.
Well, I definitely got that wrong.
Yes. Okay. And I was also like trying to start my business and bartend. But what also happened was the factory was in so much overtime that we were working like 7 days a week, 12-hour days.
Okay.
And so I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so tired of this. And so I ended up getting married, which totally helped. And then I could kind of, like you said, be at ease. Like I've got this extra income.
I'm okay.
And so
did you get off a third shift?
I never got off third shift. I quit. Okay. I eventually was just like,
can't do this.
I can't do this anymore. My business started taking off. And I wanted to be present. I only have one kid. I wanted to be present. Didn't want to miss out on things. And, so that's kind of how it all started, and it's been like the best ever. And so
I love that. And I think sometimes, and maybe I can say this because I have kiddos. When my first child, I always tell people, if you want to look at my parenting, like if I failed or succeeded, let's just look at the first one. Don't look at the second one. Like he does not know struggle. He's only known nice things. So just look at the first one. He was my growing with me child, lessons learned child. And when you start a business and you have an older child, so he was 8 or 9, there's this pressure we put on ourselves. It's not like the child is like, you better succeed.
Right.
Or I'm going to talk about this in therapy for the rest of my life. You put this pressure on yourself that what a beautiful thing that my kid can see me do this thing. And see that you did it differently. You didn't say, I went to college for 4 years, and then with that degree, got a job, and then with that job, started a business. We did things a little different.
Right.
So your kiddo sees anything is possible. And here we are today. You said 19?
He's 19, and he just started his own business.
Hey, see?
So, yeah.
I love it.
And he's doing good.
You can do your thing.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be in these steps that we're kind of told it needs to be. Hopefully it's like that for me too. When my kiddo turns 19, I do get nervous. Yeah. He is the one that calls me Adam Sandler. Yeah. That's where that came from. 14, boy. I was nervous about going to it's a nicer dinner with my in-laws. They love nice dinners.
We do too.
Yes.
I love good food.
Yes. We did not grow up on nice dinners and getting dressed up. That's not how I grew up. So every time there's this nice dinner, I get so nervous. Like, I don't have anything to wear to this. I don't know how to act. I don't know. And in a 14-year-old boy way, he was like, Mom, you're the Adam Sandler. You show up and make bands. I'm like, God, I hope that's what you think in like 8 years. Right. That you're not mortified. So I love that he gets to see that and start his own thing. That's so special. And that has to feel really good as the mom to see him doing his own thing now.
It does.
Is it scary?
It isn't really. I mean, it's scary because, you know, you want them to succeed. Yeah. You want them to do good. And
no one to hurt his feelings.
Yes. I mean, you hurt my son's feelings. I'm never going to let it go. Right. Like, you know what I mean? Sorry.
Straight to the grave.
But it makes me proud. I'll probably get all teary-eyed. He's my baby. And he's doing really good. And like last night he was at his friend's place and he was having to do a quote. And so he called me. He was like, hey, Mom, can you help me? I'm trying to finalize this quote. I want to make sure it looks right. And I'm like, for him to call me.
Yeah. He respects you enough and trusts you enough.
And, and I think that, over the 8 years that I've been in business, he has been watching and seeing. And, now since he's been driving, several years now, I'm like, okay, Owen, that's his name. I'm like, I need you to come and help me. We need to take this. We need to go here. We need to do that. And I'm always like sharing any bit of a business advice that I can give him. And, I'm in my chamber and I was on my board and
he's seen it.
He's seen it all. And so he's kind of seen it. And I took him to our annual dinner last year because one of his teachers was getting an award. And so we went and when we left, he was like, oh my goodness, I see like why you're so involved and you do this stuff. It's like he almost is like your own little community. And he was asking so many questions. And so it just makes me feel good to see.
How full circle though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You grew up with an entrepreneur set of parents. He was privileged enough to see it as well. And now he's carrying that on. That's so special. I'm going to get teary-eyed for you. Just what a beautiful moment.
Yes, it is. And you know, his dad is entrepreneur. Yes, he does that. So he owns his own business too. So we are very much entrepreneurial.
He's seeing it.
Yes, he's seeing it
behind the scenes.
and it's hard. Like you know,
what do you think the hardest part is? Just in general of owning your own business.
to be honest, I feel like there's so much.
So many hard
Like
parts.
I feel like my time management, my budgeting, you know, but really when you're self-employed, you have to hustle to get that next paycheck. And I have employees. So
It's more pressure.
it is, you know, and thankfully my job that I offer people is part-time. It's you pick up shifts when you can work.
Okay.
But I still have about 35 people. And, you know, sometimes they're like, we don't have any events this month or something. And I feel bad, you know.
Right.
But also I'm like, okay, I have a car payment. I have a house payment.
Things to do for yourself.
You know, I have things that we have to be paid. So I'm like, okay, you know, what am I going to,
How can we get it?
Yeah.
How are we going to get the next one? As the owner, you have to be so forward thinking while also being the day to day to an extent. Because I don't know about you, but if you're not in the day to day, if you say, I am just business development, something always brings you back. I was telling you, it's tax season for us. And so clients call me and they're upset and they want to talk about their stuff. And I'm like, boy, I haven't looked at your stuff in like a year. Like I'm not in this every day.
Right.
So then the guilt brings you back in. You think I have to have some handle of the day to day and be thinking of the next thing.
yeah.
That's hard.
For so long, I did it all. Like absolutely everything with my business. And I finally have just now been able to be like, I have a marketer, you know, that
nice.
helps.
Okay.
I have someone that helps me do my contracts and my booking software now. That has helped me be a little more like present in the day to day. But, you know, it's not as easy as just showing up and bartending.
Yeah.
Back to kind of like the bartending aspect of it, we bring everything. So we bring your coolers, your cups, your straws, your napkins, your ice buckets, your juice pours, your liquor spouts. So that stuff has to be washed, packed, you know, met up with,
Maintained,
you know,
yeah.
you know, then if you book a package that offers our mixers and garnishes, we, you know, we have to get all that.
Yeah.
So like for so long I was my quotes, my contract, my social media, my marketing, my telephone answer, my shopping, my packing, my everything. And I'm like, oh my goodness.
So much planning.
It's a lot. So I think I'm in it every day. Like this is my only income.
Yeah.
And there are so many other bartending companies out there.
Sure.
A lot of them, it's their side job. You know, they have full-time jobs. And this is not. This is my life. Like this is me.
Yeah.
I
You
eat,
and your
sleep,
family.
yeah. I eat, sleep, and breathe this business.
Yeah.
Like,
It's it.
Yes.
I mean, you were telling me when we were waiting outside, your sister works with you.
Yep.
So sometimes that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I can speak from experience. My sister works with me. It's my best friend works with me, her sister, and it can be beautiful. But there's a pressure because this is your full-time thing. This is your baby. Like you have to provide for them to be able to pay their own bills. So there's a pressure that I should be in this chamber. I should be advertising in this magazine.
Right.
You know, I should be doing all these things to make sure we constantly have business coming in. And it can be overwhelming because you still have to be present in the day to day. So it can feel like a lot. Another hard part, how were you doing all the social media in the beginning?
I was.
How was that?
It was a lot,
Yeah.
you know, and like, and honestly, I just made like a Facebook post today on my personal page about like social media as a business owner is hard.
Yes.
Like, am I hurting somebody's feelings if I don't share their post? Am I seeing someone in search of something and I know, and off the top of my head, I comment, but oh my God, I forgot so-and-so, like,
How did I not mention that?
yes. And then I'm hurting somebody's feelings. And so it's very hard. So social media is very hard.
And it changes all the time.
It changes all the time. And, if you go and look at my page over the years, it has really evolved.
Yeah.
Because now I have someone that actually, that's her job. I mean, she has a full-time job.
Okay.
She was one of my bartenders. She still bartends for me,
nice.
but she also wanted to learn social media.
It's even better because she knows the business.
She knows the business. So, she does help, and she's like the algorithm. And I'm like, what are you even talking about? When I did it, this is the event we were at this weekend.
Yeah.
This is what we brought, here's some pictures. There we go.
Yeah.
She puts a lot more detail into it.
Nice. She knows the things to say and how to do it versus just here's a timestamp of something that happened. Yeah.
And I am, though, like one of those people, like I want everything posted because I feel like,
they need to know.
You need to know you're
all the
seeing
things.
everything. And she's like, well, we don't want to post the same video over and over, or like if we're at the same venue over and over. And so she's like, so she'll make videos instead of just like little pictures because I'm a picture poster.
Yeah.
She actually will make videos. And I'm like, okay, well, you go right for it.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep my little pictures because I know what I'm doing.
I know what I'm doing. I got it. I can take a
yeah.
picture.
So she does.
I love that. Outsourcing.
Yes. With my own
With your
staff.
people. Yeah.
And so like my sister does help me in the bar and she does help me in the catering. She's very creative. She'll help do like some menus and things like that as well. And she also is a mother of 2 with the third one on the way. So she's going to be more of like at home working from at
the
home.
admin, the back end stuff.
Yeah.
I love that.
And then I also have my mom bartends for me. So it's kind of like a little family thing.
Yes.
Now my son can bartend because he's of age. So he has helped. But
Okay, you can bartend when you're
you can.
just have to be 18?
You have to be 18.
Okay.
And you have to be chaperoned by someone
of
age.
He can still help.
So he can help.
He can be around.
Yep.
Okay. I didn't know that. I thought you had to be 21.
Not in Kentucky. Yeah.
Okay. When I was bartending, the rules were not as strict. And you could bartend at 18 in Atlanta.
Yeah. Now it's 18 here, but you
With
have
a chaperone.
have to have someone of age.
So it's in the family.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
And at first I thought he would take over my business one day, but no.
He went a different way.
He went a different way. Yeah.
What industry did he go towards?
He went to, I guess you would call it construction, like demo, removal, stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah. He would probably call it blue collar is what he would say.
What would you call it? Would you say it was blue collar?
I guess I don't ever really use that word, but there was a song that came out about what blue collar, and I guess it's made it so popular. And he's like, I'm just going to be blue collar.
Blue collar guy.
Yeah. He does
my
great.
husband has a song. My husband's a musician. He also is a truck driver.
Okay.
He has a song called Blue Collar King.
Really?
Yes. And he talks about blue collar stuff.
Okay.
Driving trucks, tools,
Yeah.
and steel toe boots.
Right.
So it is a thing.
Yeah.
Very much. When I started my accounting journey, I was in the construction world. Okay. So construction accounting was, my jam. I thought I was so tough because I worked in construction. And I thought those are the people when I start my business that I'm going to flock to because I speak their language. And what happened was the opposite. Because the blue collar, they're not on Instagram. Most of them aren't. They don't love Zoom calls.
Yeah.
Don't tell them they have to use technology. If you tell them you have an app for onboarding, they're going to be like, cool, I'm not doing it. So what ended up happening is we attracted the people that would do it. The online creators, the coaches, the influencers, public speakers, because they speak the online language. So sometimes you just don't know where you're going to go.
You don't.
Yeah. So, all right. We know why you started. What does a normal day for you look like?
Well, let's see. Normally, we'll do some emails. I will normally touch base with my sister and be like, okay, this is what we have today.
Yeah.
You're working on this, and this, right? And
Delegate
then,
it off.
Yeah. I'm going to take care of this. So if it's typically like on a Thursday, Friday, I'm out shopping for the supplies for the weekend because a lot of our events are Friday and Saturday.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm shopping for supplies. I have 2 units where we store everything. And so then I'll go to my units. I pack my coolers, meet the bartenders, get them their stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes I work events, but normally I'm answering the phone.
The planning, everything behind.
In meetings, I'm in like 2 chambers, a couple of other groups. So I feel like I'm always having meetings. And
We were talking about that, how exhausting networking can be when you feel like you're spread out a lot with a lot of different groups. So have you had a good experience with the chamber?
I love, my Bartending chamber where I'm from. I absolutely love it. I served on our board for 3 years.
That's a long time to do that.
It is. I joined the chamber when I first started.
Okay.
And I feel like it really helped me in my hometown. And it's kind of brought me out of my comfort zone. Like Wednesday, we just sponsored a 5 p.m. Connect, which is a networking event. And we did the food for it and we did the bar for it. And then I had to talk. Like, this is great, but put a microphone on me in front of 100 people and I'm red, my heart's beating.
My chest gets red.
And so, I struggled.
Get red too.
Oh yeah. Like the picture they posted of me, my face is blood red. I'm like, really? Thanks a lot.
So cute. I look great. Yeah.
But, I love my chamber.
Okay.
We have a great group. We have good people in it.
I've never been in a chamber, but I've heard great things.
It is nice. And it's reasonable. Like, I've been in groups that was like $700 to $800 a year.
Yeah.
That's a lot for a small business owner.
For sure.
You know,
especially even if you're seasoned, it feels heavy.
Yes.
But a new owner, it's like, well,
yeah.
don't have that much money to just put in hopes and dreams here. Like, what are we doing?
And the chamber's more reasonable. Like, so I'm in Bartending Nelson County Chamber and I'm in St. Matthews Chamber.
Okay.
And then in the St. Matthews Chamber, there is a group they offer, the wedding group. So I'm in that group as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you say weddings are your primary events that you do, or is it just kind of spread out?
So like my first few years, it was just, weddings, it seemed
what
like.
we're doing.
But as we got to go and we now have relationships with some distilleries.
Oh,
So like we will supply staff for their big events. If they're having like a month-long series, every weekend, they would use us because really it's, in their eyes, when you think about it, it's easier for them to just contract someone for here and there instead of having to hire a new staff and have to give them so many hours. So we have some good relationships with distilleries. We gotten some corporate events that are just like repeat every year. They're like, put us on your books. So like we're kind of getting out there into the more corporate world. And I'm hoping that like with the catering will also like take us outside of just weddings.
Yeah. Private parties.
Private parties.
Have you done private parties?
Yeah, we've done several private parties. Birthday parties. We have one client. She likes to have like a Halloween party, a Christmas party.
Fun.
And so we'll go to hers and do her event.
Party.
Yeah. And it's like every year.
Do you dress up?
I don't. My staff does. Yeah. If they want.
Your staff does, but you don't.
Well, I don't normally go out and work events.
Okay. So that's a rare occasion.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I need to because it's like saves me money and,
your payroll is different.
Yeah. And we get tips. So like I need to work all the events possible, but I like to keep myself free in case something happens and I'm like need to go take care of something or like if
to go around.
a staff had an emergency or something, like I want to be free.
Be the one.
Yeah, like I'm the backup or whatever.
You're not trying to wear costumes. To events.
No.
It sounds fun in theory, but a little stressful.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Well, and depending on where you're at and if you're inside, outside, and all that.
And the weather's always weird on Halloween. Every year, there's crazy tornadoes, rain like we've never seen it before. It's so cold you can't go out with skin exposed.
Yeah.
What's happening? Oh, it's so spooky.
The weather is crazy.
And right now, we were in a tornado situation.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I believe.
Yeah.
And I think it's still, I don't know if it's warning or watch, but it's a tornado something.
Yeah.
Did y'all feel it down south?
Yeah. I mean, we live up on a hill. We live on a farm. So
Is that good or bad?
It's horrible.
Yeah. It feels like you're more exposed.
Yes. It's
on top of the hill.
very windy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is my house going to blow away?
Maybe. We don't know.
I don't know.
You live on a farm?
Yeah, we have a farm.
What's going on your farm?
So we have 40 acres and we have chickens, donkeys.
Donkey. For what?
Just to have, I reckon. We're crazy.
Why not?
Right?
You have 40 acres.
We have goats. We have a dog, a cat, and my son built an amazing koi fish pond. So
that's fancy.
And we have 2 hunting dogs. So
y'all go hunting a lot.
The guys
the
do.
boys do. Sure.
Yeah.
So the donkeys are a decoration?
Pretty much.
Do they work?
No. They just chill. They come up to the fence and want some carrots.
And
we just let them roam.
Same with the goats.
Yeah. No purpose. They're just there. I really don't know.
I love that.
Yeah.
Are you going to get any more animals?
I want some more, but I also think I'm ready to like sell this place and have in a little apartment and be done with it.
Sure. Okay. So it goes both ways.
It goes both ways.
Yeah. Either burn it down or get more animals.
Yes.
I see.
Yeah. Well, you know, I tell people I work to travel now at this stage of my life. Okay. I love to work because I love to travel. And that's like my number one thing I like to do when I'm free is travel. The world's too beautiful to just be put in one spot.
In Bardstown.
Yeah.
You got to get out.
Right. So I'm like, do I need these animals? Because we just got back from a 17-day trip to Costa Rica.
17 days?
We were in Costa Rica for 17 days because it was my slow time. And I was like, we went in January. And so we're like, okay, we're going to go. We're going to do this.
Yeah. Did your son go with you?
Me, my son, and my husband. And we didn't realize that it was.
What do you do with the animals?
So my mom was there. She lives on our farm with us. And so she was there and she was like, do you know it's getting ready to snow and ice and all this stuff and all these animals you have to take care of. And so that's where we're like, okay, do we need this farm? I want to travel.
It's not a working.
It's not making money. It's just there.
I didn't know how to say that.
Yeah. No, it doesn't make money. It's just there.
It's just there.
But I mean, I want a horse. I want an alpaca. I want one of them Highland cows.
They're so cute. I was going to ask if you were thinking about a horse or like a mini horse.
Yeah.
You know,
and I don't want to ride it. I just want to look at it.
Yes.
I want to look at it. I want to watch it run on their farm.
Maybe braid its hair.
Yeah.
You don't have any girls, so maybe you need to get braiding out of your system.
Something, yeah. They're just pretty. I love animals.
It's hard to travel.
It is very hard to travel.
When you have animals. I have 3 dogs. It feels hard. So you have to get someone over there.
They
can't just stop by. You have to be there.
Yes.
And that's hard.
Especially with that many. So, we contemplate, are we going to stay here? But I'm also like, okay, let's give my son some time. He's 19.
What's he going to do?
You know, my goal is like my dream, my hopes for him is like, okay, we have 40 acres. Let's make this a family compound. You build you a house right over here. We're over here. And then I can.
Your mom's there.
Yeah. And then I can travel and he can stay home and take care of the animals.
Well, then you don't have to do anything with the animals.
Right.
They can stay and you can get more.
Yeah.
Does your mom live in her own home?
So she has a camper on our farm.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about a compound.
Yeah.
And you're the first person that makes it sound reasonable.
Yeah. I tell my sisters, like,
come on.
You should. It does kind of make sense.
Yes. Like financially, village wise.
Yeah.
Your sister has littles.
Yeah.
She needs help. Yeah. I can just tell.
Oh, she does. Yeah, she does. Alexis, you're going to be listening to this. We know you need help, right?
Yeah. We're here for you, girl. Come to the 40 acres.
I know. So I like it. My husband doesn't like city life. He doesn't want neighbors. Oh. So even if we were to get rid of it, like we're still going to have some land. Yeah. So I'm like, at this point, why get rid to just go to some more land?
Yeah.
Like,
we're already here.
We're here.
We're already pretty established.
Yeah.
So we're working to travel.
I like to travel.
What do you have a favorite place that you've gone? Or do you just kind of like every new place is a new adventure?
You know, really, I mean, this is our first time like out of the country other than through cruises.
That's a big trip.
Yeah. And so it was beautiful, and it's made me be like, okay, now I want to go here, here, and here.
Yeah.
We've cruised a lot. So like you hit places, but you don't ever get to like see it and be in it.
Yeah.
But we've traveled a lot in the States, and I really like it. And
There's so many places here.
there is. Yeah.
Everyone thinks it's, oh, let's go out of the country. That's like, you know, where my whole world will be, you know, vulnerable to the you know, whatever. And I'm telling you, when we intentionally looked at our country, the United States, and we thought, well, what are our bucket listings? Our list is forever long because there are so many beautiful places here.
Yeah.
And going out of the country is so complicated.
It is.
I mean, maybe I can say that because I haven't done it.
Yeah.
But you've done it. So now.
I mean, I'm definitely going to do it again. So it wasn't that bad. You know, I will say like the only thing it makes you realize how spoiled we are in America if you go to certain places.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, how our priorities here are not probably where they should be, to be honest.
Completely different than other places.
Like in Costa Rica, you know, I'm in the service industry. So I was raised like and trained that you sit down at that table, you should have been greeted within 5 minutes. You should have a drink within a certain amount of time, like very, you know, set.
Yeah.
Not over there. Like
Really?
you could wait 20 minutes before you get seated or not seated before you get spoken to at your table.
Okay.
They are very slow paced and on their time, but they're very, very happy and friendly. And like their priorities are just different. Like, like I even felt better, like body health wise, because it was so much cleaner eating over there.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Interesting. Did you find yourself feeling annoyed at first?
oh yeah. Cause I'm impatient.
Yeah. Why aren't you
Yes.
talk to us yet?
I'd be like,
what's happening here?
yeah, a
And
lot.
you think it's poor service, but it's
It's just the
just the
way.
way they are there.
And they're like, don't get in any hurry. So,
That's so hard.
yes, it's hard because over
we're-
here,
Yeah. Rush, rush, rush.
yes.
In and out, in and out.
So you definitely slow down and realize things. And I know there's so many more places like that.
Yeah.
That like, I just want to see. I think
Experience.
that, I mean, you know, I'm like kind of a religious person, but
Same.
I think God created the world and all the animals and everything is so beautiful.
Yeah.
And I want to see it all if I can while I'm able to.
All of it.
I think we kind of live backwards. And I've said this for a long time. Like, you know, I don't want to retire and travel when I'm 60 and 70. I don't know that first of all, I don't know if I'm going to be here. Second of all, if I'm even going to be able to walk or do anything. So like,
Quality of life's different
I want to do all that now.
when you can.
Yes. Because if I would have went to Costa Rica when I was 70 or 80, I wouldn't have made it. Like I'm 40 and I'm, I don't think I can get up this hill. And I'm like holding my son's back. Like you got to help me because
Get me out of here.
it is very hilly and uphill and the inclines and
hot.
But I mean, the jungle is what's so beautiful. So if you're just going over there to sit at your Airbnb, you're missing the nature. So like, I don't think I'd want to do that when I'm that old. Maybe I'll be great, but I mean, the way I feel now, I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it up these steps at my house. So
I'm the best I will be today.
Yes.
Like this is as good as it's gonna get.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that speaks to, you know, your experience that you described there, what you do with your business. Because you're describing an experience. You're describing things you want to go out and see and do and have a good time, even if it's humbling. Where you're like, oh, I guess we are different this way. You're still out there for an experience. And in your business, it sounds like you want to create that experience for someone else, which is why you're saying, I'm working to travel. You're doing this every day. You want to go experience it for yourself. So your clients are paying on the rocks for the experience.
Right. I've never even thought about it that way. So good. Thank you. I love it.
I mean,
yes.
but really it's, you know, working in the wedding industry, I worked in film, you know, every piece that I was in, there was a hospitality aspect to it. And I will tell you, people don't remember what your hair looked like. People don't remember, you know, what kind of flowers you had. The bride will remember.
Right.
The mom will remember. None of the guests will.
No.
They won't remember if you had chocolate, treats when you walked. They don't remember the food.
The food, yes.
The drink experience. When I think back to weddings we've been to, I can tell you if it was an open bar. I can tell you if we had beer and wine or if we had more. And I could tell you what we had to eat.
Right.
Because it was good or bad.
And I'm a foodie. Like I am more of a foodie than I am a drink person.
Okay.
I'm not a big drinker. I love fruity drinks, but I'm not a big drinker. It's not like on the top of my list of like, if I'm going out to a restaurant and I budget, am I going to spend $20 on this drink or am I going to spend $20 on this dessert? Okay. I'm going to the dessert.
For sure.
So like, I feel like, the food, I love food.
Yeah, me too.
And I want good quality. And that's what I remember. And that's what I think about. And when we travel, I'm making sure we're going to like the good food things.
Hit those
like
places up.
Yes. And so I, when I think of weddings and stuff, I
That's what you look for.
That's what I look for.
100%. And you can tell as someone that works in the hospitality, how much thought people put into it.
Yep.
If they felt like, I don't really care about the food, but I want a really good DJ.
Yeah.
Or live band, you can tell where they cut corners. And I would always tell the brides when we had trials beforehand to make sure everything went well, do not skimp on the food.
Yeah.
Because that will determine if people had a good time or not. You can do a DJ at a quarter of the cost and people will have a good time. Put a couple of classics on, they're fine. If you want to splurge for a live band, I encourage you to find money to get the good food too. So, because that is memorable.
Well, and it's a night out for them too. They're coming out, they're celebrating, you all getting married. And I think the food is like always an extra bonus, and kind of the same way with the bar. When you skimp on your bartending service, you get what you pay for. And I try to explain that to people, you're going to get pretty bar decor. We're going to try to bring things to match. Our bar is not going to be tacky. Like it's
not going to stand out.
It's not going to stand out. It's going to fit in. It's going to look great with your event. Yeah. And I had a client who had booked me for her wedding at a beautiful venue. And she had went to a wedding a couple of weeks before. And so she called me and she was like, hey, can I see a picture of your bar setup? I was at this wedding and this bartending company had the black totes with the yellow tops on them. That was their coolers that they brought for their beer to be chilled in. And so you have this beautiful venue and this pretty white bar. And then on the sides of your bar, you have these these totes stacked. So
staring at you.
Horrible. And she was petrified. She was like, oh my gosh, my bar cannot look like this. Yeah. And I was like, okay, well that wasn't our company. I can assure you, like my coolers are white. We actually tuck them under the bar if possible. So we're about your presentation.
I love that.
Yeah. We want it to look good. We want it to fit in. My staff come dressed. They don't come looking like they rolled out of bed and
Adam Sandler's.
Yeah,
they look put together.
They look put together. They're always happy. I have a great group. Almost more than a half of them have been with me since I opened. Oh, and I keep,
which is so rare.
It is
in hospitality.
Yeah, I have a great group, but I don't feel like I'm bad to work with. I'm pretty easygoing, and like we have a company party at the end of the year, and
fun.
We do
at the farm.
No, we're not coming out there. I don't have a spot big enough for everybody to have fun. So, I mean, I do, but not like an indoor spot. Yeah. So, so we go places.
TBD.
I try to support other businesses. So like I've had them at different places.
Okay.
They've catered, done different foods. And
so you take care of your people.
We do.
And you don't want the bar to stand out. Yeah. You don't want people to be like, that bar. I remember that bar. We don't want you to talk about the bar. Yeah. Because that's how much we're going to blend in.
And I don't want the bride to be worried about what it's going to look like. Right. And so we were at that wedding, actually went and worked that wedding. And it was so funny because a lot of the guests at that wedding had been to that other wedding. And they were like, oh my God, this bar looks so great. It's so nicer than what we've seen here before.
It was memorable.
And it was. And so like we had so many compliments on it. And like that makes me happy.
Everything.
Yeah.
That's what you're going for.
That's what I'm going for. I want people to like our setup. I want people to enjoy our service. I want them to, have a good time, be safe, want them to recommend us. And, you have to think if you are getting married and you have a bridal party and you have 6 guys, 6 girls, well, that's a potential, most of the time, 12 events that could be booked, Not always are the whole bridal party married or those are together.
Right.
So you want everyone to enjoy and have a good time. And we get a lot of bookings off of events we've been at. Like they're like, oh, I was in so-and-so's wedding or I was a guest at their wedding. We thought you all did a great job. Yeah.
So it does matter how you present yourself.
It does.
It's networking while working.
Yeah. And I'm easy to work with. Like
would your sister say that?
She probably would not.
I'm going to call her now.
Yeah. Because, of course, we're always harder on our family.
Of course.
And I'm also like, she's superwoman. I can give her 100 tasks and I'll be like, oh, here you go. But obviously we all are busy and stuff. Yeah. But right before I come here for this meeting today, I had a call with a client and they were asking me some questions like, well, what if we, want to book you for this package, but down the road we decide we want to go to this package? Like, are you going to, charge us extra for making contract changes? Or like, what if our timeline, we actually want to extend our timeline, And I'm like, look, I'm easy to work with. I get things change. And when you reach out to us, you don't know what you want. You don't know your timeline, but if you want us, you secure us, and then we make all those changes. And we're super easy to work with. I've changed a contract for a girl probably 6 times, and it's just part of it. But
because sometimes that happens, and it's out of your control.
It is.
You have to be able to adjust and pivot and be flexible, especially when it comes to events.
Yep.
And you guys are there for them.
Yep. And you have to be adaptable. Yeah. Especially when you get to those events too, because like there's been so many times we've shown up and they'll, like if our base package is us just showing up with all of our supplies and stuff like that, no mixers, no garnishes, no ice, nothing like that. Cause the client wants to provide all that, which is okay. So we work with all budgets. If you just want to go, the most affordable route, then you need to book our basic package and you provide everything, right?
Then you have to remember to.
Yeah, but you have to remember to get all that. But so there's been times that like we've shown up, they've booked us for this package. Well, we get there and the menu says, they've got old fashions, they have margaritas. Well, we're okay. Well, to make an old fashioned, you need bitters. So we're like, okay, well, where's the bitters? And they're like,
what?
I forgot them. I don't have them. And we're like, okay, well, it's on your menu. Let's get it.
Twitching. Yeah. Thinking about that.
Oh, like we'll figure it out. So like we'll go to the store and we'll get it all. And obviously we give them the receipt, they pay us back, but we don't want to make it difficult. Like you're already under enough stress at that time. So like, let's just deal with it and we'll figure it out in a little bit. But we're really easy to work with. And I think that's another thing that helps us too.
Yeah, that's everything. And I know they can find you on Facebook.
Yep.
That's where I found you. What's the best way if someone's looking to explore, to get a quote? Is it Facebook?
So this is probably not good of me. You know what? So we just got a new booking software.
Oh, okay.
And so it all is supposed to link. So
in a perfect world, it all links.
And yes. And that's another thing as a business owner, you have all these different avenues of like
software.
Yes.
Tech stack.
Facebook inquiry, Instagram inquiry,
emails, phone calls.
Yes. And so being one person doing it all,
how do you bring it together?
I was losing it. And I was like, okay, we can't do this. Like, I have messages on my phone, I have messages on my email. Like, how can I keep up with all this? So I'm pretty sure if you go to ontherrocksbartendingky.com, that is our website. And there is an inquiry form that will link it to our software to keep everything in one spot.
Okay. If they're like, here and that didn't take me to the right spot, they can go to the Facebook
and inquire
there.
And it will link you.
It does have a link. I saw a link on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it'll link you to the same place.
I get it.
Yeah.
When you have multiple socials, multiple links, I leave a lot of my stuff on unread.
Yes.
Because I'm so scared. I mean, look at my phone right now because I'm afraid I'll forget.
I know.
Phone calls, text messages.
And that's
emails.
happened to me a lot.
Yeah.
Like, or I'll have a client that, again, we're very flexible. So they'll book me on Facebook. Well, then we went to email and we did the contract. And I'm like, we're going to keep everything on email, right?
Yeah,
so I can
from
go
here on out. We need a paper trail.
Yes, a paper trail. Or so the week of when I'm getting ready to pack all your stuff, I can see any changes, because sometimes they don't book my mixers. Well, then they do. And I need to add that.
I need to see what's changed.
Well, some people will go back to the Facebook and start messaging. Well, then
why?
They would text my cell phone. And so
all these different ways.
Yes. And I was like,
how do I?
Oh my goodness. And I'm also one of them people, like, I'm very responsive.
Yes.
I don't like things to be left
lingering and not answered.
Yes. So I'll answer my call in the middle of driving and I'm like, okay, let me try to remember all of this while I'm driving.
While I'm driving and doing something I need to focus on.
So this is hopefully will all be better.
It'll help. It'll bring it together.
It will.
You're that business owner. There's this TikTok trend going around where it's like my partner, my wife, husband, business owner answering calls in the middle of public. And so it shows a guy like on his phone. He's like at Disney. And he's like in the middle, Disney ears, castle in the back, and he's like answering a thing. And then it shows him on a roller coaster. And he's like, yeah. And I feel that so much. Yes. My sister and my husband both sent me that. Like, I'm just trying to be responsive because a lot of people, the first complaint I get about their previous accountant is I can never get a hold of them.
Yes. And I get that about bartending.
Yeah. I could never get a hold of them. I tried to call and they didn't call me back.
Yeah.
So then you have all that pressure.
You do. And I don't like that feeling. And I'm also, I do not want to call a 1-800 number and have to dial one or even a local number and dial one and talk to, a recording
situation.
I want to speak with someone
right now. Zero.
So I get when people want answers and I'm that way. And if you are planning an event and you think that, you want that person, but yet if I'm not answering, you're like, oh my goodness, or they're not responding. What are we going to do? And well, you get antsy. So you move on to the next person.
Oh yeah. You don't wait.
You don't wait. And so I want people, I don't want that. I want to get it right away. So
that's stressful.
Yes, it's very stressful. We were, when I was in Costa Rica, was probably the first time I did not take my business phone on vacation.
For 17 days.
I said, okay, to my sister, I was like, you or me for 17 days. And I will tell you, we got delayed and stuck in Miami for 4 days. So we were actually almost 21 days gone. And so I was like, you or me, you handle it all. I will regroup with you every night. But also international calling is not cheap. Service is not great. And so I would get back to the room every night and we would do like a 30-minute recap of the day, because I'd have Wi-Fi or whatever. And so that was like, but I still had my other phone so I could get on my Facebook. I could still check my emails.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as much.
It forced you. I mean, it didn't give you a choice.
Yes.
It was like, calm down. We're not doing this here.
But normally,
was she okay?
She was good. She did great. I mean, she's.
The business did not go down.
No, she's a rock star. She is me. She is my me. Like if I'm unavailable, she is me.
She can be there.
Yep.
And that
she can run the business.
You can go and it'll be
yes. Okay. And I've had people say, what if, we book you and something happens? And I'm like, well, let's God forbid that, but we never know.
Okay, we're going to go to that route.
But if that's the case, I have a me, who knows everything about the business, who can also run my business, who has ran my business when I'm out of town.
But it's fine.
Yeah, and it does fine. But I also have 35 staff. So
you're good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
So like even when people think about, locking someone in for 2027,
Yeah.
we're good. We're not going nowhere. I've got enough staff. And if something happens to me, my business will still be ran.
Yeah.
It
Has longevity.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Oh, that's so comforting.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I am so incredibly excited to see what catering looks like for y'all.
It's been going good.
Yeah, it's going to be, I have not been at an event yet. But I have a feeling it's going to happen soon now. Just because isn't that the law of attraction? You say, I've never, and then you're like, I really want a white car, and you're flooded with white cars. Right. It's going to happen that way. And you have survived an hour of a conversation talking about your business.
I know it. Which is crazy.
Yeah, the end. You're religious.
Uh-huh.
The Pharisees in The Chosen. Have you ever seen The Chosen?
Uh-uh.
Oh, it's so good.
Okay.
Pharisees in it, and a conversation like this where they're done with it. So I did that for a while. And then when I would watch it back, I'm like, man, am I comparing myself to a Pharisee? That sounds